which Scotland will know there is absolutely no margin for error now, and it is the Scots who will get us up and underway in Cologne, Germany. According to skipper Andy Robertson, Scotland will try to shake the fear tonight. It is worth reiterating, Scotland have never reached the knockout stages of an international tournament. 11 major tournaments have come and gone, with disappointment always the ultimate currency. But now they do still have an opportunity. They do need a positive result this evening. For Switzerland, victory would secure progression. So we are up and underway in Cologne, Germany, and it is a throw-in early on for Switzerland deep inside the Scottish half as Ndoye was making the early running on the left-hand side for Switzerland, and Scotland now will have a throw-in as Tierney came across to deal with the danger, but it did just nick a big off Ndoye. The flag might have been up anyway, and Ndoye was certainly penalised because it's a free kick now, which Angus Scum will take for Scotland. Just wipes away a bit of moisture on the ball, and Angus Scum launches it from the right-hand side, just outside his own penalty area, to Ralston, and the ball just clips out of play and is gathered now by Hendry. Wanted to take it quickly, and indeed does take it quickly, and Scotland in possession, just over a minute played in the game. Back now with Gunn for Scotland, just outside the confines of his own penalty area. Little Sam Wedge right-footed forward towards the edge of the centre circle, and Switzerland now have the ball back, and Akanji trying to move it through the midfield, and Switzerland have it once more on the right-hand side, just shy of halfway. And John McGinn wanted the throw-in to be given in his favour, and indeed the referee is sympathetic to the request. And Scotland have the ball with McGinn by the corner flag on the left-hand side, and Scotland have won a corner early on. Less than 2 minutes played, and John McGinn, good enterprise, good endurance on that left-hand side, rather, in terms of his persistence to try to win the ball back and ultimately winning a corner kick for his side. So it will be McTominay to take the corner kick. McTominay will take it right-footed from the left-hand side. Early chance for Scotland to fizz the ball into the penalty area. McTominay does indeed whip the ball in towards the near post, but is comfortably cleared away by Switzerland. Not a particularly good free kick, really. Good corner kick, I should say, rather, from McTominay. He just couldn't beat the first man. It was a really good opportunity early on to test the Swiss back line, but couldn't do so, could McTominay. And it will be in the end a throw-in for Scotland, 5 yards shy of the corner flag on the left-hand side, in front of the bank of red. The Swiss fans have travelled the very short journey from Switzerland up across the border into Germany in their numbers, and Tierney now will take the throw, and Tierney is lining up a long one. Tierney now for Scotland with the throw-in on the left-hand side, hoisted into near the penalty spot, and Switzerland have bodies back there to alleviate the danger. Tierney once again will try and feed the ball into the penalty area, can't quite do so initially. Scotland though with an opportunity through Shea Adams inside the penalty area, and eventually it gets slashed wide for another corner kick for Scotland, and McTominay is racing across to come and take it. Andy Robertson also considered delivering it himself from the left-hand side, but it will be McTominay to take it right-footed, and the previous corner wasn't particularly pretty from McTominay, and he will want to do far better this time around. So it is 3.5 minutes played. Scotland 0, Switzerland 0 in Cologne. McTominay will take the corner kick once again from the left-hand side, right-footed in front of the bank of Swiss supporters. McTominay raises the signal and whips in the corner kick, and it wasn't a bad one, but Sommer, the Swiss goalkeeper, quickly gathers, and Switzerland now will bring the ball away, and it is the run of Granit Xhaka initially, and Switzerland now trying to come forwards once more, but the final pass is over here to Angus Gunn, will collect inside his penalty area, and there's just a moment now to take a breath, because Scotland with the early running in the opening 4 minutes of the game. They only recorded one shot against Germany, did Scotland. There was actually the fewest number of shots ever in an international game since the friendly against Italy back in 2016. That was also one shot. Scotland absolutely humbled, weren't they, in that game against Germany on Friday night. And Steve Clarke was very magnanimous in defeat, and I think there was a sense that there was no need to overanalyse proceedings, really, given just how poor Scotland were and faced against such a talented German side, with, of course, the home fans really making their voices heard. Now a chance for Ndoye on the right-hand side for Switzerland, but Andy Robertson, the Liverpool man, is back there to alleviate the danger. Now the throw-in will be taken by Widmer on the right-hand side for Switzerland, and we play just shy of 5 minutes, and it is Scotland 0, Switzerland 0. And Switzerland do have the ball at the back and in the left back slot, and is gathered now on that left hand side by Switzerland, but Hendry is biting into the challenge, and Scotland win the ball back, and Scotland have the ball back deep inside their own half, and they've given it away extremely cheaply to Vargas, and Vargas trying to bundle away through, couldn't quite do so, and the ball is back now with Gunn, who left-footed just outside his 6-yard box will flick the ball up towards halfway. Scotland want a free kick, they're going to get a free kick as well, just shy of the halfway line, and that will give Scotland an opportunity to potentially feed the ball a little bit longer. It was Shah on McGinn, and McGinn using all of his experience just to go down under the physicality from the Newcastle United man. And it will be a free kick now for Scotland inside their own half. 5.5 minutes played. Scotland 0, Switzerland 0 is the score. A game that Switzerland know if they were to pick up 3 points tonight, they would qualify with a game in the group stages still to go. Scotland really feel as though they've got to win tonight to stand a chance of qualification. A draw wouldn't be a terrible result, but they'd be going into that final round of games knowing they would have to then beat Hungary and hope that Germany beat Switzerland, and the permutations become a little bit more difficult. If Scotland want this remaining in their own hands, then really they've got to pick up all 3 points tonight against Switzerland. So it's a goal kick for Switzerland, because they're taken short, and Sommer now feeds out to Shah on the right hand side, and Switzerland are now going to come out from the back, and they've actually gone really long towards Ndoye, but it is Gunn who is outside his penalty area, who slices the ball out of play for a throw-in for Switzerland, just about level with the edge of the penalty area. But a miscommunication, I think, at the back there really for Scotland, and Gunn was called into action and forced into slicing the ball away for a throw-in. Switzerland have taken the throw, and Switzerland are in possession on their right-hand side, just shy now of the halfway line. Switzerland have the ball back with Sommer. Sommer in goal. And between the sticks, just flicks the ball out to the right-hand side, and Switzerland moving the ball out from defence into midfield really neatly indeed. And Jordan Shaqiri now just trying to wriggle away from 1 or 2 and can't quite do so. And a lunging challenge from McGinn sees the ball go out of play. And I think McGinn is just barking 1 or 2 words at the referee, because it's actually a free kick being given to Switzerland, which they've taken quickly, and it goes harmlessly into the arms of Gunn. And so forward come Scotland once more, out from the back. His last win in an international tournament was back in Euro 1996. Oliver Coist scoring the winning goal in that one. It has been, in terms of international tournaments for Scotland, I mean, the fact that they've just never reached the knockout phase of an international tournament is something that continues to really, really sting. And it is now Switzerland who do have the ball on the left-hand side, trying to make inroads, and neither side really have managed to create anything in the game so far, with 8 minutes played in Cologne on what is a very warm June evening. And Scotland have the ball back now. McTominay just outside the centre circle. McTominay tried to squeeze it through, and Shay Adams was trying to pick up the pieces, couldn't quite do so, and Sommer will gather now inside the confines of his penalty area. And it is Switzerland who have the ball now at the back, and Switzerland are popping the ball around rather neatly, and it's gathered now on the right hand side as they try to move forward towards the halfway line, and it's cleverly played round the corner, and all of a sudden now Switzerland have got bodies forward, and all of a sudden Vargas is trying to make the run into the edge of the penalty area, but in the end Switzerland rather cheaply give the ball away, and it will be a goal kick, I think, for Scotland. Switzerland not particularly pleased with that decision, and Vidma is making his case to the referee. There was just an arm up actually on the back of the Scotland player, and it will be a free kick for Scotland deep inside their own half. Moriakin, the Swiss coach, was really interesting actually prior to kick-off. He came out and he was just trying to gee up the Swiss fans, and not something you see every day, to be honest, from head coaches and managers prior to kick-off. Really, he was just pumping up the fans and trying to get the Swiss fans to match some of the noise being generated by the Scottish supporters. 0-0 remains the score. Free kick awarded now for Switzerland just outside the centre circle inside their own half, and it is going to be a free kick as Shay Adams is penalised, and he had a sniff yet, Shay Adams, and be something that Steve Clarke will be very well aware of in terms of what his side can do to try to get Che Adams more in the game. Scotland had the ball inside their own penalty area, trying to play out from the back and rather misplacing the ball in the end. It was beyond Ralston, and the first time in the game really I think the Scotland have looked a little bit nervous in possession, and it is a throw in which Avisher will take, and Avisher does gather on the left hand side for Switzerland, and Vargas now trying to create inroads right by the corner flag, and Vargas in turn puts the ball out of play. And you'd have to say it's been a rather sloppy 10 minutes on both sides, and the stakes being so high here, the teams are very, very well aware of just the margins that a goal could mean either way in the game. Here's Jack Henry to take the throw on that right hand side, and it's flicked up towards and over halfway for Scotland. McGinn was initially the player trying to regather. Now it's collected by Shah, and Shah has the ball on the right hand side and finds Widmer, and Widmer now just cutting inside, and Switzerland have a little bit of possession now, and Widmer, the 31-year-old, the Mainz player, gets a touch on it. All of a sudden it is the tempo of the game has just dropped off a little bit. It was rather high octane opening 6 or 7 minutes when Scotland did have a couple of corners, probably the best possession either side has had in the opposing half. No real chances in the game as yet. Just over 11 minutes played. Of course, Germany with that victory earlier on in this group, in Group A, so Germany sitting pretty at the top of Group A. Switzerland do know that a victory tonight would see them progress into the knockout stage of the tournament, and the ball just squirms behind now for a corner kick for Switzerland. It wasn't particularly pretty from Hendry at the back, and they have just looked a little bit nervous at times, haven't they, Scotland, in the last few minutes or so. Hendry had the ball under his custody and just trying to flick the ball back towards Gunn, but couldn't quite do so, and Gunn couldn't keep it in place. That's a cheap corner kick given to Switzerland. Switzerland now then with the corner. Xherdan Shaqiri playing his trade in the MLS, former Liverpool man Xherdan Shaqiri. His 7th international tournament, incredibly, is Xherdan Shaqiri. He will take this left-footed on the right-hand side, takes it short. Switzerland trying to work a different kind of angle, and Xherdan Shaqiri is back with the ball, and Xherdan Shaqiri sweeps the ball into the heart of the penalty area, but Scotland, though, with bodies back there to alleviate the danger. And here comes Scotland now on the left hand side, and they're pouring forwards for the first time in the game. Scotland have got good bodies forward, and all of a sudden there could be an opportunity on the left hand side for Scotland. The ball is regathered now by Andy Robertson, who cuts it back intelligently, and in it goes. Scott McTominay with the effort, took a huge deflection on his way through, but Scotland won't care. And just how important could that goal be in Scotland's bid for qualification in Euro 2024? We've seen absolutely nothing really of either side in an attacking sense in the opening 12 minutes, but suddenly a quick breakaway on the left hand side for Scotland after they managed to clear an attacking situation from Switzerland. It was Andy Robertson on the left hand side who was streaming away. It was cleverly done actually initially by Gilmour to set up the opportunity, and the 3 Scotland players pouring forwards, and eventually the cutback was such a clever one to Scott McTominay, who will indeed claim the goal. Takes a huge nick on his way through. The outstretched right boot got a hefty touch on it, but Scott McTominay has scored for Scotland, and they lead Switzerland by a goal to 0. Well, it's a huge touch inside the confines of the penalty area from Fabian Schär. It really is. He was right in front of his goalkeeper Sommer, but he had to get a touch on it, he felt, and it flew off Schär. And I think in fact Schär might be credited with the own goal here, because Scott McTominay was claiming it. I mean, it looked like it was going in, but Schär's touch was no doubt decisive. I think that one will certainly be something that will cause a little bit of controversy either way, because Scott McTominay will say the effort was going in on goal. We'll wait to see whether that goes down as a Scott McTominay goal or an own goal from Fabian Schär, but either way Scotland lead by a goal to 0. And in truth it's been a really even opening 14 minutes, but Scott McTominay's goal separates the two sides, and Scotland have the precious advantage in this oh so important game. Scott McTominay with the goal then for Scotland, and a really important goal as well. Switzerland have the ball now on the right hand side, and Switzerland trying to make inroads, and the ball is actually out of play for a corner kick in the end. And Scotland a couple of times have given away cheap corners in the game, and they won't want to do that on too many occasions, I don't think. It's an opportunity now for Switzerland on the right hand side. It was Shaqiri who tried to release Ndoye, and then eventually Tierney just saw the ball go behind for a corner kick. So Shaqiri then will sweep in the corner. It's into a really good area. Can't quite clear it initially, can Scotland, but eventually the final effort from Rodriguez goes off target, and they'll be absolutely delighted with Scotland, because they got the early goal and Switzerland haven't really been able to create too much in the opening 15 minutes or so. McTominay's goal for Scotland proving to be the difference. It goes down as a McTominay goal or an own goal from Fabian Schär. We await to see. So one or two suggestions it might be an own goal, but either way Scotland have got their noses in front, and this really would, albeit there's such a huge chunk of the game still to be played, but this really would be a fabulous result, wouldn't it, for Scotland, and it really would put them in a very good position indeed to qualify with their final game against Hungary. Of course, they'd not be relying on Germany to do them a favour against Switzerland, but Scotland and Steve Clarke right now are sitting very pretty indeed. So the ball is played forward now by Switzerland. There's a huge chunk of this game still to be played. The ball cannons off the referee, and Switzerland now will have the ball midway inside the Scotland half, and Switzerland will be very well aware that they haven't managed to get Ndoye into the game at all. Abisha as well has been very quiet, so too Shaqiri. Vargas has it now on the left hand side for Switzerland, and Vargas goes on the outside, and Vargas tries to squeeze it in at the near post, just came off a Scotland body and behind for a corner kick. Scotland 1, Switzerland 0 is the score, over 17 minutes played, and it's going to be another corner kick for Switzerland, this time on their left hand side. This time it will be taken right footed by Vargas, and Vargas now will sweep this one into the penalty area. Switzerland trailing by a goal to nil. Signal is given by Vargas on that right hand side, and Vargas puts it into a pretty good area, comes to the edge of the penalty area now. Scotland did their work initially, now Rodriguez will try and hoist it back in, but there's a head injury and the game will be stopped, and it is a head injury. There was a whole host of players inside the penalty area. I think Hendry was partially involved, so too Fabian Schär, and there's a mass of bodies inside the penalty area. Referees of course done the right thing by stopping the game for the head injury, and so there will be a bit of treatment applied out on the pitch, and it's one or two players down inside the penalty area. Fabian Schär looks to be the most impacted by that, because Ralston is slowly getting back to his feet. It's worth just assessing the group as it stands, and of course this would put Scotland on 3 points, and they would be in a pretty good position. They would go above Switzerland in the table, because it's worth emphasising once again that it is not goal difference that separates the two sides, it's the goal difference between the sides that play each other. So in essence it's the result between the two sides. So the fact that Scotland and Switzerland both have 3 points, should this result remain as it is, would put Scotland second place in the group, and then they would be thinking, well, if we could get a point against Hungary, and if Switzerland don't beat Germany, then we would qualify, and they would know that a win against Hungary would absolutely guarantee them a place in the knockout stage of the tournament. And they know if they lost, they would be relying on, well, they'd be relying on other results. So it's very finely poised indeed, and it is Scotland 1, Switzerland 0 in the game so far. The goal scored by Scott McTominay to separate the two sides, and I think that Ralston is going to be okay. He did receive a little bit of treatment for that head injury, but now he's back on his feet. And still the debate goes on in the graphics department whether it's a Fabian Schär own goal or a Scott McTominay goal. Inside the centre circle, Switzerland have it. They peeled it out to the left-hand side of Rodriguez. And Rodriguez now 5 yards in from the touchline, just tries to flick it forward now towards Vargas. And Vargas does gather on that left-hand side. Vargas inside neatly enough towards Aebischer. Aebischer back now to Granit Xhaka. And Aebischer will take custody over the ball once again. Goes 15 yards back, though, to Akanji. Akanji zipping it through the midfield. And Switzerland enjoying a bit of possession, but Scotland's shape is good. Schär's back out on the pitch and seems to have recovered from that head injury. Gathered now by Akanji. Akanji striding out from the back, and Akanji feeds it to his right hand side. Switzerland now have the ball up and over halfway on the right hand side. Switzerland once more in possession, and Doy just peeling off to that right hand side. Everyone behind the ball bar Shay Adams now for Scotland, but Shay Adams is indeed tucked in, and now everyone is behind the ball for Stephen Clarke's side. Gathered now by Switzerland on that right hand side. Neat triangles cleverly worked on the right hand side. There might have an opportunity now to get good delivery into the penalty area, but Andy Robertson, the captain, sliding in. It will be a corner kick though for Switzerland. Another corner kick, this time from their right hand side, and was a final touch off the Liverpool fullback. And so it will be a corner kick now for Switzerland on the right hand side. I think the delivery actually from Xherdan Shaqiri has been pretty good from that right hand side left foot. It just hasn't quite got the required touch on it. So Xherdan Shaqiri will take the corner kick, left footed on the right hand side. Xherdan Shaqiri whips it into a half decent area. Hanley is there with a partial clearance. Switzerland are just trying to feed the ball back into a dangerous area. Angus Gunn wants the offside flag to be given. Nothing happening though from the officials, and they will come again with Rodriguez, will Switzerland. Rodriguez rakes it out to the right hand side. Switzerland in possession once again. Freuler does gather 3 yards in from the touchline on that right hand side. Switzerland now enjoying a little passage of play, which will be mopped up now by McTominay, the goal scorer, and Scotland are playing out from the back really intelligently and have the ball now through Andy Robertson on the left hand side. It was good football from Scotland actually on that left hand side to create the opportunity, and Andy Robertson's pouring forwards now on that left hand side, but couldn't quite managed to squeeze away through. In fairness to him, I don't think he had too much in the way of support with him, and it's now gathered by Scotland once more just outside the centre circle, but Switzerland biting into the challenges, and referee allows play to continue. I think he would have stopped that for a Swiss free kick, but here come Switzerland on the right hand side, and it's gathered now by Freuler, and Freuler just has a little look to his left and a little look to his right, and Switzerland now having the lion's share of possession. Aebischer does gather. Aebischer goes to his right hand side. Switzerland once again in possession. Gathered now by Aebischer on the right hand side. What can they conjure, Switzerland? Haven't really created anything in the game so far, and it's regathered now by Switzerland just outside the centre circle. Collected now by Switzerland on their right hand side, and the ball is fed into the penalty area. Hanley just about manages to scrape it clear, and it will be a throw-in for Switzerland on the right hand side, just 10 yards short of the corner flag. So it is Scotland 1, Switzerland 0. The goal scored by Scott McTominay, a very hefty deflection off Fabian Schär, and Scott McTominay with the goal though. Assist from McGregor. Been conceding lots of corners in the game, and really in terms of opportunities from either side, you'd have to say that only that one chance really for Scott McTominay, which had itself in the back of the net, and it is another head injury now, which Scott McTominay is down, clutching the back of his head, almost the top of his neck I think, so he's going to be okay, Scott McTominay. He was declined by Fabian Schär, who's been at the wars himself in the game so far. 25 minutes played, or just short thereof. Scotland 1, Switzerland 0. And this would be an absolutely magnificent result for the Tartan Army, who have, of course, turned out in their droves for this one. There were rumours that around 3 or 4% of the entire country is currently in Germany at present. I mean, you could just imagine if Scotland get to the knockout phase of the tournament, yeah, there'll be another few thousand making their way to Germany just to soak it all up, just to be part of the action. Akanji collects, and Akanji has the ball at the back for Switzerland. And Switzerland have had much more possession in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but haven't really been able to do anything troublesome with it. Troublesome from a Scotland perspective. She had 72% ball possession of Switzerland in the game so far. Scotland have the ball now at the back, and Gilmour will mop up, and it's a really loose pass though, and an opportunity now for Switzerland, and there is the equalising goal. It's calamity from Scotland, but absolute sheer delight from Xherdan Shaqiri. He picked up the ball when the pass was so loose, and a man of his experience did not need a second invitation. He fairly swept it home. It's a glorious goal from Shaqiri's perspective. It's an absolute nightmare though from Scotland. It was Ralston's loose ball, and Xherdan Shaqiri, first time, pinpoint perfection, equalising goal for Switzerland. And of course, it's the veteran, it's Xherdan Shaqiri with it. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Well, he doesn't need me to tell him, but you just cannot do that at this level, on this stage, and present players of Xherdan Shaqiri's quality that kind of opportunity. It was a postage stamp finish from the former Liverpool man. Shaqiri fairly sweeps it into the top corner. It's a beautiful goal from a Swiss perspective. It's a nightmare though from Scotland. It's Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Well, how about this? How about that? Xherdan Shaqiri with the goal. But Steve Clarke will be so aware that you coach your side all week, you just can't account. You cannot account for those kind of situations, for those kind of errors, for those kind of mistakes. It's a disaster for Scotland, but take nothing away from Shaqiri. I mean, my goodness, he takes that well, doesn't it? And now here is Vargas on the left-hand side, and Scotland need to be careful now because Switzerland are playing some neat stuff. And I mentioned a moment or so ago the fact that it's 70-odd% possession in the game. Shaqiri making his appearance in his 7th major tournament for Switzerland, the most in the nation's history. And it's just a lovely goal, it really is, from his perspective. I mean, the ability to take it first time. Here is Vargas on the left-hand side now, and Rodriguez will sweep the ball into the penalty area, comes to the edge of the penalty area for Switzerland. It's a really good chance to test gun in the goal, and Widmer just skies it over the crossbar, and all of a sudden Scotland look really, really ropey. Really, really on their heels. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score. The first goal scored by Scott McTominay. And Xherdan Shaqiri with the equaliser. And now it's the Swiss fans' turn to bounce up and down in absolute delight. That is the name of the game for them inside this ground. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. 28 minutes on the clock, and Scotland, I think, just need to take a moment here because as it stands, they're really being outplayed. Haven't had a sniff of possession really in the last 10 or 15 minutes especially. It was Adams trying to tussle for it, couldn't quite do so. Scotland still biting into the challenges, but that was a late one from Shay Adams, and the referee just giving him a bit of a talking to. No suggestion of a card coming out, but Shay Adams did lunge into the challenge. You've got to keep your studs low these days, don't you? The minute those studs go off the ground, you're asking for the referee to make a decision. So it is gathered by Switzerland on the left-hand side, and Vargas now is inside the penalty area. Vargas with a cut back, and Scotland looking so rack, and eventually they will bring the ball away in the form of McTominay. McTominay goes to his right-hand side, and McTominay feeds it to Ralston, and Ralston gathers, and Ralston just wedges the ball to the left-hand side now. Elected by Tierney. Tierney collects, and Tierney goes to his right-hand side, and Scotland now just enjoying a little spell of possession with everyone at the back now, gathered by Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. Andy Robertson cuts in field, and Hanley collects, and collected now by Gilmour, and Gilmour defeated inside, but Scotland just can't really get out. They're playing the ball around the back line and into McGregor in the centre of the park, but really devoid of ideas. And Hendry now collects, and Hendry to Ralston, and Ralston, whose error led to that Xherdan Shaqiri equalising goal. And Scotland want a free kick right at halfway. They're going to get it as well. Gilmour goes down, yellow card showing for Rodriguez, and so it is a free kick for Scotland right on half-hour mark, and Rodriguez is protesting his innocence, but Ricardo Rodriguez goes into the referee's notebook. So it is Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. McTominay's goal on 13 minutes, Xherdan Shaqiri's equaliser on 26. Free kick now for Scotland, which they will consider launching long, I think. It's going to be flipped long now for Scotland towards the edge of the Switzerland penalty area, but Sommer is back there and will deal with the danger, and Switzerland indeed will deal with it very well indeed, in terms of just how they managed to move it out for defence. And all of a sudden now could be an opportunity for Vargas just outside the penalty area. Vargas cuts it forward intelligently for Ndoye. Great chance now for Ndoye. Wonderful save from Gunn to prevent Switzerland from taking a 2-1 lead. It's a quite magnificent save from the Scottish goalkeeper. An outstretched left arm just poked the ball away for a corner kick. It's a great reaction save because Ndoye's only about 10 yards out. Cut back on his right, but really intelligently played by Ndoye. Tried to sweep it into the corner. And it's lucky that Angus Gunn didn't trim his fingernails last night, because that is the faintest of touches. And it's behind for a corner kick. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Xherdan Shaqiri will take the corner kick. Left-footed from the right-hand side. Xherdan Shaqiri gives the signal. Sweeps it into the penalty area once again. Scotland only with a partial clearance. And it's not properly cleared now. And it could be an opportunity for Ndoye inside the confines of the penalty area. And the ball is bundled in, but will it count? Ndoye wheels away in celebration, but the flag was up. As it stands, it won't count. Ndoye feels as though he was onside. Ndoye feels as though he scored to make it Scotland 1, Switzerland 2. But was he offside? Scotland all at sea at the back. It was certainly really tight. Ndoye is, I think, his left shoulder's offside for the angles we're seeing here. And the officials have got that one absolutely spot on. And might have even touched the arm as well of Ndoye in terms of the way he tried to control it through. There is a goal check going on now, but I think that's been called correct in real time. And Ndoye just gives a little bit of a grimace, almost as if he knows. And I think that's really fabulous officiating, because in real time they've seen that the check is over. No goal. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. 33 minutes on the clock. It's such an emotionally charged contest out there. Living and breathing every moment of this, to the Scottish fans, the Swiss fans, and everyone involved in the spectacle. Header is flicked on, looking towards McGinn. That could be an opportunity for Shea Adams to try to make inroads. Scotland want a free kick right on the edge of the Swiss penalty area. They're not going to get it. And it's flicked away now by Switzerland, as one or two boos and whistles echo around the ground as we approach half-time. Still to be played in this first half. 34 minutes on the clock now. Gunn has the ball. Wonderful save from Gunn to keep it at 1 apiece just a moment or so ago. Really terrible error from Ralston, meaning that Xherdan Shaqiri had the chance to make it 1 apiece, and it was a chance which he gratefully accepted. And so it is a throw-in for Switzerland on their right-hand side. And Switzerland have it. They poke it forward now towards halfway. Andy Robertson just hooks it forward once again, and Switzerland have just dominated in terms of possession. Scotland, you'd have to say, I mean, apart from that goal from Scott McTominay, they've created absolutely nothing in the game. game is one apiece, and Scotland do have it now with McGregor, and McGregor visited into midfield, and all of a sudden now is collected by McTominay. McTominay trying to make things happen, but Switzerland will take the throw, and Switzerland will feel as though they've done enough to be ahead in this game, you know, because of Doy with the goal that was chalked offside, and also Doy was almost celebrating when Gunn made that save inside the penalty area. Save it was too from Angus Gunn. Really, really good save for the Norwich City goalkeeper. Not particularly happy with the 5 goals he conceded against Germany, especially really. Ball play forward now towards Shea Adams for Scotland, but Switzerland do have the ball at the back, and it's pinged forward towards halfway. It's regathered now by Scotland on the right hand side, and Ralston flicks it infield towards Gilmour, and he goes back now once again, and Gilmour does gather. Gilmour goes to his left hand side and finds Hanley. Back three playing some nice stuff from some really nice stuff indeed out from the back, and it's gathered now by McGregor. McGregor to Hendry, and Hendry inside towards, well, it's actually a really late touch from McGregor, and the referee considered giving the free kick, opted against it. Now Gilmour inside the centre circle. What can Scotland conjure? What can they create? Scarcely anything really in the game so far, apart from the goal scored by McTominay. Equalising goal by Xherdan Shaqiri. And the ball is flicked forward now, looking towards Shea Adams, and Rodriguez, who's on a yellow card, will have to deal with it. Shea Adams will pick up the pieces. Shea Adams flicks it inside towards McTominay. McTominay couldn't find a way through. He has won a free kick though, and Scotland have a free kick just to the right of centre, about 10 yards outside the penalty area, and they will certainly relish this one, will Scotland. And so 37 minutes played. Rodriguez is on a yellow card, penalised once again, and it was a decision in Scotland's favour, and a decision they will look to take advantage of, because they've got a free kick now on that right hand side. McTominay just points and says, is this one for me? Should I be taking this one? He places the ball now with a sense of real deliberation, and Scott McTominay will take this set piece to the right of centre. 2 players in the Swiss wall. McTominay is going to feed it into the penalty area, gives the signal. The left hand is raised by McTominay. McTominay sweeps it into a half-decent area, comes to the back post now, and it's kept alive, and the goalkeeper Sommer will comfortably gather. And in fact, I think the flag was up anyway, and Hendry was penalised, so it will be a free kick for Switzerland, which they've taken quickly, and they have the ball just to the left of their own penalty area. Collected now by Aebischer, but Scotland have won it back intelligently. McGregor now has the ball 45 yards from goal. Finds Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson inside, and Scotland have it once again through Gilmour. Gilmour tried to feed it through, couldn't quite do so though, and Switzerland have the ball at the back, and Switzerland are trying to play out from the back, and so it is a challenge from Gilmour. The game's just into a little bit of a rather scrappy stage so far. So it is Andy Robertson who will take the throw. Robertson feeds it back inside, and Scotland have the ball inside their own centre circle. Collected now by Hendry. Hendry feeds it up and over halfway towards Shea Adams, who really hasn't been involved in the game at all. Shea Adams trying to change all that now. Feeds it to Ralston. Ralston with the cross in. And will this be kept in play by Andy Robertson? Yes, it will, on the left-hand side. It's gathered now by Scotland once again, 35 yards from goal. Collected by Hanley. Hanley feeds it to Gilmour. Gilmour once again, 35 yards from goal. Scotland pressing and probing and asking 1 or 2 questions now for the first time in a while. Andy Robertson to Gilmour. Collected now by Hanley. It's been played just outside the centre circle for Scotland, and it's now collected by Ralston. Ralston goes all the way back though, to the goalkeeper, Gunn. And Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score with 5 minutes to play before half-time. Collected by Scotland just outside their own penalty area. I think on the balance of play, Scotland will just want to get in at half-time now. It's Andy Robertson who's trying to get on the end of it, and that will be another corner kick for Scotland. It was Route 1 stuff really for the on-running Andy Robertson. It was a nice idea actually, and it will be a corner kick for Scotland. Andy Robertson was just trying to edge Kanji off the ball, couldn't quite do so, but he has one inside a corner. So corner kick now for Scotland on that left-hand side, and McTominay will take it. McTominay's going to take this one right-footed. Scott McTominay will deliver. McTominay right-footed into the penalty area towards the back post. Shay Adams was there, and Shay Adams just got a touch on it. It was gathered by Sommer in the end. I think Shay Adams was trying to make the case that he wanted a corner, or potentially was suggesting that the ball across the line. It definitely hadn't. It was good officiating, and Switzerland now will come away with the ball. Switzerland have it on their right-hand side, and they've got two players to aim at inside the penalty area beyond everyone though, and Ralston will just gather, and Ralston feeds it down the line, and Shay Adams is trying to gather, but that's no free kicks as the referee. Collected now by Switzerland once more, and here is Xherdan Shaqiri, who scored the equalising goal, the veteran, to Ndoye. Ndoye just outside the penalty area on the left hand side. Ndoye's now inside the penalty area. Ndoye trying to operate and manufacture a yard of space. Then the effort on goal is palmed away by Gunn, and it's regathered now by Shah. 5 to aim at inside the area. Shah's ball into the penalty area, and rather desperate defending at the back from Scotland, but it has to be at this present moment in time. Collected now by Rodriguez, and once again Scotland have got some real defending to do here, and it's been a big feature of this first half from the Scotland perspective. Rodriguez now has the ball for Switzerland as they push for a second goal prior to the interval. Collected by Abisher to Ndoye on the left hand side. Ndoye now inside the penalty area. Ndoye trying to find a way through. Ndoye throws himself to the ground. It's certainly not a penalty. It might have even been a dive and a yellow card there. Referee pretty lenient in the end. Rodriguez has the ball once again on that left hand side, and here comes Switzerland once again, wave after wave of Swiss pressure. It is Vargas. Vargas is just straight offside, and that'll give Scotland a bit of a welcome relief in the game really, and so it will be a free kick for Scotland. It was Hendry and Ndoye who clashed inside the penalty area, but was never going to be a penalty kick, and Ndoye was offside. So Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score in this all-important Group A game, after Germany had one earlier on in this group. And really, Switzerland know that a win tonight would see them qualify for the knockout stage of the tournament with a game to spare. And Ndoye does gather, and Ndoye tried to squeeze away through, couldn't quite do so. Ball is back with Gunn, and Scotland will come away with it once again. So it is Scotland in possession inside their own half. There'll be too much added on time at the end of the opening 45 here. It is a result which still leaves Scotland in contention. It's a result which really they will feel like they've got to win tonight. Got to win tonight. I wonder what kind of gamble Steve Clarke's going to take in this game as we go into the second half and beyond. So it's gathered by Gunn at the back for Scotland. Final minute of the first half. A very, very engaging, very entertaining first half. Scott McTominay opening the scoring for Scotland, and Xherdan Shaqiri scoring a really beautiful goal from his perspective. But from Scotland's perspective, it was a very loose pass from Ralston that gave Shaqiri the opportunity to take it first time. So it is collected now by Scotland, and Ralston, who's inside his own half, comes all the way back to Angus Gunn, who's made a couple of big saves in this first half as well. And Scotland have the ball just outside their own penalty area. Back to Gunn. Gunn collects and Gunn feeds the ball high. He's looking for the run of Shay Adams. Didn't quite come off though. Switzerland will go all the way back to their goalkeeper Sommer. Sommer considered going with his right foot. Instead he's going to just sweep the ball out to his left hand side, and Switzerland will bring the ball away into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Then just the one additional minute to be made in the first half, of which we've had 15 seconds or so. It's been a first half which I think Switzerland will be really pleased with, apart from conceding that goal, of course, to Scott McTominay. I mean, they've had the lion's share of possession, certainly the better chances in the game, and Steve Clarke's got a really big team talk coming up now, because there's a game and a half of the group stages left for Scotland, and you do feel as though everything's got to go right for them in the remainder of that. It's actually going to be 3 additional minutes at the end of the opening 45, and it's a free kick now for Hendry, and Hendry will take it. Hendry just loops it long towards the edge of the penalty area. But group 1 here from Scotland, will they get any more joy from that kind of approach? It's played long though by Switzerland, and Doy wanted a free kick for his little tussle at the back with Tierney. He's never going to get one for that though, I don't think. And it is Scotland who have it once again outside their own penalty area. Scotland will build again from the back, and it's collected now by Hanley, and Hanley goes to his right hand side and finds Hendry, and Hendry down the line to Ralston, and Ralston tries to feed away through, can't quite do so. Is that a free kick? Yes it is, for Scotland, and Scotland have taken it quickly and have the ball now on the left hand side with Andy Robertson, who will keep it in play just shy of the halfway line. Scotland have the ball inside their own half, and it's fed back now for Hanley. Hanley and Scotland just playing keep ball at the back, and perhaps that's just what's required here to get to half time and reshuffle slightly, because in terms of the statistics in the game, I mean, Switzerland with a greater share of possession. They've had 6 shots to Scotland's 3 shots to Scotland's 2 on target, and it has been all Switzerland really in the game. They've had the better chances, and so it is Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 as we approach the half-time whistle. What a really, really big second half this is going to be for Scotland, because we know that they absolutely need to play far better. Scotland will feel as though more goals really, with the saves from Angus Gunn that have taken place in this first half on a balmy evening in Germany. So Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score, and the whistle goes for half time. Scotland did take the lead through Scott McTominay early on in the game, and from there the Tartan Army were on their feet in absolute delight. However, an error from Ralston allowed Xherdan Shaqiri, playing in his 7th international tournament for Switzerland, to score a beautiful first time finish into the top corner past Gunn. There was nothing the Scottish goalkeeper could do about it. In truth, Switzerland have had the better of the chances. Gunn's made a couple of really important saves, but in this absolutely crunched match in Group A at half-time, it's Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Switzerland with a better side, created more, had the better chances in the game as well. Xherdan Shaqiri's equalising goal, by the way, I mean, it brings about a fabulous statistic. Xherdan Shaqiri is the only player now to have scored at the last 3 European Championships and the last 3 World Cups. His 10th goal in international tournaments. He is the definition of a big game player, is Xherdan Shaqiri. And he took it so well, didn't he? Really well after the error from Ralston had given Shaqiri the opportunity to take the strike on. He swept it past the goalkeeper Angus Gunn for 1 apiece. That was, of course, after Scott McTominay had given Scotland the lead in the game. And it was McGregor who assisted that goal for Scott McTominay. To the big deflection of Fabian Schär inside the penalty area. 1 apiece then after the opening 45 minutes in this Group A fixture. We are up and underway at the start of the second half. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Of course, Switzerland know if they can win tonight, they will secure qualification to the knockout phase of the tournament. For Scotland, a draw would certainly keep them in contention, but you do feel as though they need a win to make it happen this evening. So, it looks as though there are no changes at the start of the second half, and Switzerland immediately have a corner kick on the right-hand side. So it is a corner kick now for Switzerland. 1 apiece the score in Cologne, Germany. Scotland have got some defending to do early on. Xherdan Shaqiri will take it left-footed. It was a lovely goal from Xherdan Shaqiri to make it 1 apiece, and some of his set-piece delivery has been very impressive tonight as well. Shaqiri gives the signal, floats it in left-footed into the confines of the penalty area. Ball comes back now for Vargas, who right-footed will try and shoot the ball back into a dangerous area. Cannons off McGregor, and it will be another corner kick for Switzerland. We've seen a host of these in the game so far. Corner kick then for the Swiss, which will be taken once again by the goal scorer Xherdan Shaqiri. This time he goes short to Vargas to generate a different kind of angle. Back to Xherdan Shaqiri. Shaqiri's ball in isn't a bad one, and it's over his own crossbar from Hendry, and behind for another corner kick for Scotland to defend, and for Switzerland to feed into the penalty area. Switzerland at the start of the second half. Xherdan Shaqiri really trying to create plenty of zip on that left-hand side with his delivery. Last one was taken short to try to generate a different kind of angle, and this one, in fact, won't be taken at all because the offside flag was up, and it's a free kick for Scotland, which they've launched long, and it's out of play now for a Scotland throw. And Switzerland, who had the lion's share of possession in that first half and have more shots, 6 shots to Scotland's 3 on target to Scotland's 2. They're the better side. A couple of big saves from Angus Gunn, specifically that one from Ndoye inside the penalty area. It really was a very big save indeed to keep the score at 1 apiece. Scotland have a throw in then inside the Switzerland half. It's a throw in which will be taken by Ralston, a man whose error led to the Swiss goal. Ralston will take the throw. Ralston just rotates the ball through his hands and plays it now back inside the centre circle. Hanley will gather, and it's collected now by McGregor on the left-hand side for Scotland. McGregor just sits it forwards looking towards McGinn. McGinn just tries to wrestle away from his man, wants a free kick. Referee says it is a free kick for Scotland. Switzerland not happy at all, but Scotland have a free kick to the left of centre, around about 35 yards from goal, probably too far out for the direct strike at goal, and John McGinn is tussling for it, is going to leave this one actually to Andy Robertson to take left-footed. Andy Robertson with the set-piece delivery there. It's a glance inside the penalty area. There's Andy Robertson and sees a slew of players moving inside the penalty area. Away it goes, and Andy Robertson now will regather the ball and just goes back to the centre circle, and it goes all the way back now to Angus Gunn. I don't think that will please too many Scottish supporters. Of course, top 2 from each group do go automatically through, but there is still an opportunity for the sides who finish 3rd place, and there is a feeling that 4 points might just be enough to qualify, but it would certainly put a lot on Scotland going into that final game against Hungary, wouldn't it? Andy Robertson wanted a free kick, which the referee didn't give. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 remains the score with 49 minutes played, and it's going to be a throw-in for Scotland, which Tierney will take. Tierney throws it into the penalty area, and Switzerland just about managed to nod the ball away, and it's back in by Scotland, all a little bit messy from both sides, and McGregor is there, and all of a sudden Andy Robertson pops it forward as well, and Shea Adams in the heart of things too, and Switzerland are making a bit of a meal of it defensively. Andy Robertson trying to go around the corner, wants a free kick, nothing doing. Referee stopped the play anyway for a head injury inside the penalty area as Akanji goes down. And Scott McTominay was asking the question earlier on, and McGinn had made contact with Akanji, and that is why Akanji is down. McGinn just leaning into Akanji. I don't think there was any particular malice in the challenge, just a bit of contact from McGinn. Akanji, I think it's more on his left shoulder actually, Akanji, than his head. And well, Scott McTominay has been yellow carded for something he said to the referee out there, and Scott McTominay is protesting his innocence, but he's gone into the referee's notebook, and well, potentially referees penalise McTominay for the challenge on Akanji when it's actually McGinn. But anyway, McTominay goes into the referee's notebook, hoisted forward for Scotland once again, but it's going to go out of play now for a throw in. In fact, it's gone all the way out for a goal kick which Sommer will take. In fact, Sommer's left it for Akanji, and Akanji goes back to Sommer, and Sommer is just outside his own 6-yard box, and Sommer left-footed sweeps the ball up towards halfway. Hanley pokes it back to his goalkeeper Gunn, and Gunn in turn finds Tierney, and Tierney just rolls his studs over the ball and flicks it infield towards Gilmour. Gilmour goes to his right hand side and now pokes it up towards the run of McTominay. McTominay was there, and Scotland managed to reprocess possession, and Gilmour now will try and make things happen. Gilmour goes inside to McGregor. McGregor to Tierney. Tierney on the left hand side now to Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson on the overlap. Andy Robertson has run a throw in for his side, right by the corner flag on the left hand side, and Andy Robertson takes it quickly, and Tierney now gathers, and Scotland popping the ball around fairly neatly, and Tierney goes inside once again towards the centre circle, and Scotland managed to feed it forwards once again. It's a little bit messy really from both sides. 52 minutes on the clock. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score, and Scotland did lead through Scott McTominay before Xherdan Shaqiri's equalising goal 13 minutes later. Switzerland have the ball in the right back slot, and they fire the ball long, and it will be gathered now by Gunn. Angus Gunn sweeps the ball out of his penalty area towards Hendry. Hendry back inside, and Scotland have possession in the form of McGregor. McGregor goes back to Gunn. Gunn just outside his 6-yard box, and Gunn pokes it forwards once again, and it's collected now by McTominay, and McTominay has the ball on the right hand side, and it hasn't been particularly fluid from either side start to this second half. Collected now at the back by Akanji. Akanji goes out to the right hand side and finds, well, he tried to find the run of Ndoye, and Ndoye with the touch, and Xherdan Shaqiri with the little flick inside towards Freuler. Freuler has the ball just inside the Scotland half and goes back infield towards Shah, and let's not forget that a draw would be a really good result, you feel, for Switzerland. Yes, they're still going to play Germany in the final game, but they have 4 points on the board, and they'd be very confident in that, and they would know that if Hungary could beat Scotland on final match day, that would, I'm sure they would go through no matter what the result. So for Switzerland, they will certainly feel as though a draw would be a very good result. I mean, a win would be a fabulous result because it would take Switzerland through with a game to spare. Ball is hoisted up now towards halfway, and Scotland have got the ball right on the centre circle, but Akanji's won it back, and Switzerland now in possession, and Akanji just flicks the ball to the left-hand side, and here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez floated inside towards Granit Xhaka. Xhaka's looking for the run of Ndoye. Ndoye's inside the penalty area, and Ndoye wants the corner kick to be given, and indeed it will be a corner kick for Switzerland. And Ndoye is having a little bit of a word with the referee. So Scotland, certainly not for the first time tonight, have another corner kick to defend. Corner kick then to defend here in front of the Swiss supporters. It's taken short by Switzerland, and in it goes from Rodriguez, and half cleared by Scotland, and once again Switzerland will move the ball down the left-hand side. It's cleverly worked now by Rodriguez once again. Rodriguez goes infield towards Granit Xhaka. Rodriguez once more for Switzerland. Rodriguez again, and back inside it goes towards Aebischer. Aebischer just trying to play between the lines, and Switzerland now moving it neatly on their right-hand side, and gathered by Shah. Shah with a cross to the penalty area, goes the whole way through. Could be an opportunity now for the strike and goal. Indeed it is, but it's right down the throat of Angus Gunn. And you can't really blame Vargas for taking it on, as Scottish fans still certainly making their voices heard. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score. Will be well, it is a really, really big result. Switzerland could go on and get that second goal and qualify. I mean, it'd be a heartbreaking result for Scotland. They know they've got to at least get a draw tonight from this game. I wonder if Steve Clarke could take a gamble here to try to win it. I feel though that a draw is not a bad result. From there, of course, they could go on and into that final game against Hungary, but asking a lot, aren't you? We actually had big chances against Germany today in the game. Scotland have the ball at the back, and it is now Scotland in possession through Tierney. Tierney goes inside, and Tierney once more, and Tierney now pressured by Ndoye. It's back to Angus Gunn. It's going to be a free kick for Scotland inside their own half, and Tierney was fouled by Ndoye. Ndoye just left the arm in. It's a correct decision from the referee. Ndoye, 23-year-old, playing his trade at Bologna, obviously at Bâle and Nice and Lausanne. Scotland have the ball on the left-hand side, and McGinn tries to make things happen. It hasn't quite happened for McGinn tonight, has it? It's been a really difficult one for the attacking players of Scotland, who haven't really had the opportunity to make things happen in that final third. Scotland have the ball then at the back, and is gathered by Hendry. Hendry goes down the line, and it's collected now by Switzerland, and Ndoye is the target. Ndoye wriggles free. Here's Ndoye. Ndoye with a chance, and Ndoye's put it wide. It was a wonderful opportunity for Switzerland, and a wonderful opportunity for Ndoye. The balance was perfect, did the first part expertly, but then when only faced by the eyeballs of Angus Gunn, Ndoye gets the ball out of his feet. In fact, it's a wonderful save from Gunn. Comes off the thigh of the Scotland goalkeeper. Might even get a touch on the glove too. It's a really good save, but make no mistake, Ndoye should have scored. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. Well, he knows there's a big chance, does Ndoye. And Tierney is just suggesting that he needs to come off now. And there is going to be a substitution now for Switzerland. First of all, and Bolo is going to come on for Shaqiri. Shaqiri's goal scored magnificently on 26 minutes. Only player to score in the last 3 European Championships and the last 3 World Cups. Some statistic that. And Bolo is now on for Switzerland, and of course Breland Bolo came off the bench to score against Hungary, so he'll want to be doing more of the same tonight. Tierney is down, and straight away, as soon as Tierney went down, he suggested that he needed to be stretchered off in the game. It was a suggestion from Tierney, and so the opportunity for Ndoye a moment or so ago was a big one, a really big one, which he couldn't take, and did Gunn get a touch on it? That'll be the question. Did he get a touch with the glove or the thigh? Only he will know. If he did, it was as faint as the touches. Tierney then coming off for Scotland, and this is a real disappointment for Tierney, because he is going to now be replaced, and looks as though McKenna is going to be the player to take his place, and a forced substitution then for Scotland, and Kieran Tierney, if he'd done his hamstring, or certainly the left leg, seemed to jolt uncomfortably, and so McKenna comes on in his place. Switzerland weren't particularly impressive in qualification, were they? But they're just always really, really sharp when they turn up at the big tournaments, and that's what they've done. I think now Switzerland will just look at this with half an hour left to play, and they'll be very well aware that a draw is a really, really good result for them, and I don't think now they'll want to take any additional chances. I mean, certainly Ndoye will look at the great save from Angus Gunn in the first half, but look at the great chance he's had in the second half, which he failed to convert, and he will feel as though he should have done far better, and he should have put this game beyond sight, really, for Switzerland. Anyways, you could say Scotland have rather got away with this so far, because apart from that McTominay goal, can't really think of many opportunities at all where Sommer has had to make any kind of meaningful impact in the game, the Swiss goalkeeper. Switzerland have the ball on their left-hand side, and Switzerland are going back now towards Sommer. In fact, it will be regathered by Akanji. Akanji just outside his penalty area, and Akanji now striding up into midfield. And Akanji, the Manchester City man, feeds it in towards the run of Mbolo. And Mbolo now goes to his right hand side, and Switzerland do look very much in control of the game, in control of the first half. They were in control of large parts of the second half as well. Collected by Switzerland once more, and Mbolo is the target, and Ndoye was there as well. Scotland just try to move the ball down the line with Ralston. Doesn't quite come off. Hasn't really been a night for the two wing-backs for Scotland, has it? Ralston with that error that led to the Shaqiri goal, and Andy Robertson hasn't really been able to provide the impact he might have wanted. So, throw in for Switzerland, and Switzerland have the ball with Freuler. Freuler goes to his right hand side and finds Shah, and Shah, and the ball cannoned off for McTominay's goal, will sweep the ball so intelligently out to the left hand side, and all of a sudden Switzerland now got bodies forward inside the penalty area. It's really cleverly done on the left hand side, and the effort on goal from Vargas just fires over the crossbar in the end. But there's some warning signs here for Scotland, there really are, because Vargas just smashed the ball over the crossbar in the end, but he got himself in a really good position. Did Ruben Vargas, the 25-year-old, the Augsburg man, who scored 4 goals in the league last season. So 3 goals for his nation this year as well. So Scotland have the ball inside the centre circle, but Switzerland win it back, and at the moment I wonder if Scotland will be decided to take a draw, because they just can't get hold of it. And Switzerland really do have all the ball in the game so far. Of course, Switzerland coming off the back of that 3-1 victory over Hungary, with goals from Dua, Abisha and Mbolo coming off the bench to score. And it's Scotland who've been in a poor run of form, really. I mean, if you look at the recent results that Scotland have had, really poor. I mean, of course that 5-1 defeat against Germany was one thing, but also a 2-2 draw against Finland, did beat Gibraltar in early June. Plus that, it's Northern Ireland, it's 0. The Netherlands drew against Norway and Georgia. I mean, it really does go back quite a while. Scotland want a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. It's a free kick they're going to get as well. And you do sense, with 25 minutes left to play, given just how little Scotland have created, this might be an opportunity to really test the Swiss back line in terms of what they can conjure, what they can create. Because just haven't been able to conjure anything from open play. So it might now be down to set pieces for Scotland. McTominay and Andy Robertson are the two players over it. McTominay's walking away. It's going to be Andy Robertson who will take it left-footed. 25 minutes left to play. An opportunity for Andy Robertson to feed the ball into the penalty area. It is Andy Robertson standing over the set piece. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score. And Andy Robertson, just to the right of the penalty area, will take this left-footed into a really dangerous area, off the post, scramble inside the box and away. And Switzerland have got away with one. It was beautifully flighted into the penalty area from Andy Robertson, the captain. And did he get a touch on it? I think he did. I think it was Hanley in there who got his head on it, or certainly got a body part on it, did Hanley. He's onside. Hanley's header off the post, and then Switzerland managed to scramble the ball away. Well, the margins are so thin. Hanley got his head in where it hurts to head the ball goalwards, and he'll be so frustrated that he hasn't managed to make it 2-1 to Scotland. And so close indeed to doing so. Switzerland have the ball in their left back slot. Switzerland now with Rodriguez inside their own penalty area. Sommer will hoist it away, and Scotland have the ball once again, and Gilmour is collecting. Gilmour gives it away really cheaply, and Switzerland now are pouring forwards, and Switzerland will have an opportunity, but Andy Robertson is back there. It's going to be a free kick now. Mbolo was indeed penalised, and that's going to be a yellow card, in fact, distributed here by our referee. And McKenna, the substitute, goes into the notebook. What a chance though for Hanley just a moment or so ago. He will know that he's done everything he could by getting a really clean surface to the ball. Just couldn't quite manage. Could Grant Hanley, the Norwich City man, just couldn't quite manage to find a way to give Scotland the lead. Here comes Switzerland once again. Switzerland have it now with Rodriguez, and Scotland biting into the challenges. And at this point, so the two sides will really believe that they're the side that can go on and win it. Which of the side wants to go on and try and take the gamble that would see them win it? Be the more fitting question here, because certainly for Switzerland this is a wonderful result, but they will know that Scotland look pretty vulnerable defensively. Here is a chance now for Mbolo on the left-hand side, but Scotland will just about prevent that one from going out of play for a corner kick, and McGinn tries to turn it around the corner, but he can't quite do so for McTominay. Just wonder if set pieces really are Scotland's best hope here, and it's a really nice ball played in by Andy Robertson, and Hanley with the header. Here come Scotland now on the left-hand side of McGinn. McGinn feeds it inside towards the captain, Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson zips it in towards Gilmour. Gilmour's helping the ball forward on the right-hand side, and bodies are inside the penalty area now for Scotland. They've won a corner kick, and this is the kind of situation I think they will seek to exploit, will Scotland, because they've possibly got an opportunity here to feed the ball into the penalty area. And with 20 minutes left to play, and the Scottish fans absolutely on their feet in... Wow, they just made such a great noise, haven't they, the Scottish fans in the ground tonight. Andy Robertson will take it, left-footed, swings it into the near post, but it's cut out too easily, and Scotland have got to take advantage of those kind of situations. The ball is helped forwards, and it's out of play for a throw-in for Switzerland. Scotland just so close, Scotland, to making it 2-1 with that Hanley header. Of course, Switzerland themselves will look towards the chances for Ndoye. A couple of opportunities that he's had, and the save that Angus Gunn made, of course, and then the chance that Ndoye couldn't finish. And is there going to be a yellow card here for McGinn? There is. McGinn absolutely can't believe it. He's holding his face and he's down on the field, and he just absolutely can't believe it. Shaking his head is John McGinn. Did come through the back though, Shah, and I think those kind of situations, always going to ask the referee to make a decision. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. The early goal scored by Scott McTominay and Xherdan Shaqiri, as John McGinn is the third Scottish player, I should say, to go into the notebook after McKenna, the substitute. McTominay as well. Swiss fans making their voices heard inside this ground tonight. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score. At the moment it's a really good result for Switzerland, and for Scotland it's a result which will keep them in contention, but really just goes into an absolute vital game against Hungary, of course, on the third round of fixtures in the group. And both sides tonight have had their chances, they really have. They've had their chances to conjure something, their chances to get that second goal, been able to take it. Ndoye will really rue those two opportunities he had. The first you could pass off as a great save from Angus Gunn, because it was, but the second, to score from that kind of position, will be very painful indeed when his head hits the pillow tonight. So throw in now for Scotland. Looks as though Ryder's going to come on for Switzerland. And there's going to be a substitution here for the Swiss. Widmer is the player who's going to come off here. And well, it's a free kick for Scotland in the meantime, which they will certainly look to take advantage of. Andy Robertson, the captain, he's had a few of these. The last really good set piece he had came off the head of Hanley, hit the post. Robertson with another really good ball into the penalty area, but in the end, the header was just a little bit wayward in the end, and ultimately off target. So double substitution incoming now for Switzerland, it looks like. I wonder if this is just a case of shutting up shop so much, but just a recognition from Ryakin that just wants to shore things up here. So here is a double substitution for Switzerland. This is the Granit Xhaka is going to be one of the two players to come off, and Vincent Sierro is going to be one of the players to come on, the 28-year-old who plays in Ligue 1 for Toulouse. So he is coming on. Granit Xhaka is off. We await confirmation of the other change, in which Reader is going to be coming on. And so Reader is on the field of play. Double substitution then for Switzerland. And Sierra and Ryder are on. Vargas is off. So too Granit Xhaka. So Scotland 1, Switzerland 1, with 15 or so minutes left to play in Cologne. Scotland have the ball on the left-hand side, and they're trying to make inroads intelligently through the movements on that left-hand side. And there's going to be a corner kick now for Scotland. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. McTominay with the opening goal on 13 minutes, and Xherdan Shaqiri on 26 minutes with the leveller. But now Scotland have a corner kick, and McTominay's come across to take this one right-footed, right in front of the Scottish fans inside this ground, and suddenly the atmosphere's gone up once again, and Scott McTominay now will fire at a corner kick beyond everyone is kept alive. Is it just about? Not properly cleared by Switzerland. 1 or 2 appeals inside the penalty area. Is there a head injury that the referee's got to stop the game for? The referee has decided to play on, and it is now a throw-in for Scotland on their left-hand side. So it was Gilmour who went down. It was Gilmour himself who left a left arm in, really. Gilmour went down inside the confines of the penalty area, and it will be Scotland and McGinn who will try and bring it forward. Andy Robertson was there, and Mbolo goes down. Is that a free kick? Yes, it is. And Switzerland will take that all day long. They've got a free kick outside their penalty area. And as the game winds on, I think Switzerland will be very well aware that this is a very good result indeed. Yes, they'll look back on the chances they had, the chances that Ndoye had to make it 2-1, but there's no doubt that this is a really good result for Switzerland. Scotland, it leaves them in a pretty do-or-die final game, really, against Hungary, doesn't it? But the ball is back now with Sommer. And the game is far from done, because we still have 13 minutes or so left to play in the contest. And it is collected now by Switzerland, just outside the centre circle. They have it. Nkanji feeds it forwards once again, and here comes Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is approaching the edge of the penalty area on the left hand side, and Rodriguez cuts back on his left foot once again, and Rodriguez wants it back and gets it back just outside the Scottish penalty area. And here come Switzerland once more, and the opportunity inside the penalty area, eventually it's fizzed over the crossbar in the end by Ndoye, who just peeled away to that left hand side. Been his night tonight. Ndoye's actually led the line really well, but just hasn't been able to find that final touch, that final moment to find the top corner. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1, the score there. So the 10 minutes left to play in the game, and it's been a very entertaining game, very engaging. We just haven't been able to get a second goal either side in the contest. Switzerland have come closest to getting that second goal, but a header from Hanley coming off the post suggests that Scotland, especially from set pieces, has still got very much some life in them. So the ball is hoisted forward for Scotland's done a free kick for Switzerland right on halfway. Referee seems to think so, and Scotland have got another player down now, and there might have to be another substitution here, because it was a innocuous challenge, it looked like, but there is going to be another substitution now, I think, for Scotland. Indeed there is, and it's going to be McLean to come on, and Gilmour is the player who's coming off. So McLean comes on for the young man. Gilmour has given a decent account of himself out there tonight. McLean, 32 years of age now, Norwich City man, formerly Aberdeen and St Mirren, is on the field of play. 10 minutes left to play here in Cologne. Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 is the score. Is there time for some late drama? Is there time for a winning goal in the game? Switzerland have the ball right on halfway, and it's fed now back towards Akanji, and Akanji's played well today inside the centre circle. Just a little glance left and a little glance right. There's no real pressure on the ball from Scotland whatsoever, and Akanji spins it forward with a bit more purpose and a bit more deliberation for the Swiss. And Bolo is inside the penalty area, and Bolo just has half a glance at the referee to suggest that he was perhaps Switzerland to score a beautiful first-time finish into the top corner pass gun. There was nothing the Scottish goalkeeper could do about it. It was just a coming together really with Hanley. Skillmore applauds the fans as he just come off a moment or so ago. Looks around the edge of the pitch on the far side. The supporters showing their appreciation for the young man Billy Gilmore, with Albion central midfield player. Launch forward now towards Scott McTominay. Switzerland will have the ball once again at the back, and Scotland feed the ball away, and it's neatly done now, and Scotland will gather. And there's an opportunity now for McGinn. McGinn just feeds it to Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson stands up the cross, and it's an inviting cross too. And Scotland will recollect, and now an opportunity for Scott McTominay. And on the rebound, wanted the handball. Still McTominay. Still it might break loose for Scotland. Here's Shay Adams. Comes back now for Scotland once again on the right-hand side. Swept into the penalty area, but this time Switzerland will just head it clear, and Andy Robertson will try and pick up the pieces. Robertson for Scotland. Cuts back inside. Scotland still have the ball. This time now inside the centre circle, and Scotland once again pushing forwards, trying to find a moment that will matter in the contest, and they have it now on that left hand side with Andy Robertson, the Liverpool man. And there's just a sense perhaps now that there could be a moment in this game for Scotland. There could be one moment where they can try and nick it. Shay Adams is still on the field of play. I mean, he really hasn't been involved in the game at all, really. Shay Adams tries to poke it inside, gives it straight back to Switzerland. It's been a difficult night for Shay Adams, and now could be an opportunity for Embolo for Switzerland. He's clean through on goal against gun. It's Embolo. It's a lovely chip finish, and Switzerland lead by 2-1, and it is Switzerland now who are surely heading into the knockout phase of the tournament, but the flag is up and it won't count. It was a lovely finish from Embolo. It really was. It was a slide rule pass. I thought it timed his runs at absolute perfection. We'll see the replay in a minute on our monitors. My goodness, it's tight, but I think just the right leg of Embolo has crept offside, and when he raced clear Embolo, he just stood up Angus Gunn. It was a really, really cracking finish, but then the flag went up, and so it was deemed to be offside. Will of course be checked. I think the check is complete. And it's a couple of times now that Switzerland have had the ball in the back of the net and just haven't managed to be the right side of the offside decision in the end. So Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 remains the score. Not quite sure how at this stage, to be honest, because my goodness, Switzerland have had their chances twice. They've had the ball in the back of the net. They've had two big opportunities from Ndoye, and Scotland for their part have hit the post through Hanley. So Swiss fans will feel as though they did enough to win it. I mean, I think that's what they'll feel like. 4 shots from target to Scotland's 2. It's an opportunity now for Switzerland inside the penalty on the left hand side. The cutback's just about cleared by Scotland, but Switzerland will come once again, and the final ball is over here, and it's behind for a goal kick for Scotland. 10 shots apiece from either side, so it's going to be a really fascinating final 5 minutes or so to this contest. McTominay with the opportunity a moment or so ago, and the ball is launched forward by Scotland now, and Switzerland who have the ball just in the centre of the park, and Scotland bustling and biting forward, and all of a sudden it looks like Scotland have more appetite to go on and try and win this game. Switzerland will feel as though they're so close to what would be a really, really good result, a really impressive result. And although they have had the chances and the opportunities to make it 2-1 on the night, frustrate them that they haven't been able to do that, I still think they will take a lot from this. So the ball is back now with Angus Gunn. Gunn, who's made one really big save from Ndoye in the first half. McTominay's early goal on 13 minutes cancelled out by Xherdan Shaqiri. Now collected by Scotland inside their own half, and on the right hand side they have it once again. Scotland now are moving the ball intelligently. Shay Adams gets a touch on it. No free kick, says the referee. It's going to be a substitution. Well, in fact, there is going to be a free kick now for Scotland. The yellow card is shown as Shay Adams goes down, and Sierra has only been on the field a matter of moments. Does get put in the referee's notebook. So it's a free kick which Scotland will be very grateful for, and no doubt Scotland will launch into the penalty area. There'll be more substitutions now for Switzerland in the game. Looks as though Rodriguez, I think is now staying on, and Amdouni's one of the players who's coming on for Switzerland, and indeed Amdouni and Sturgoy are the two players to come on for Ndoye and Bidman. Frustrating evening really for Ndoye in the end. He had his chances out there, didn't it? Now is the chance for McGinn. McGinn just lost the ball into a dangerous area for Scotland. Scotland got bodies inside the penalty area now, and Scotland will want to feed the ball into a dangerous area. They can't quite do so in the final. Striker goal is a poor one. Sommer will gladly gather for Switzerland. And Scotland won, Switzerland won after that comfortable victory for Germany over Hungary earlier on in Group A. So it is gathered by Mbolo. Mbolo just tried to poke it forward, and Switzerland now will try and pick up the pieces, but the ball is back now with Gunn, and Gunn smashes it up towards halfway. It is now collected by Scotland on that left hand side, and Robertson. It's regathered though by Scotland, and it's all a bit messy just inside the Scotland half, and I think both sides are suffering from a few tired legs and minds out there. It's been that kind of game. It's been really, really emotional, high octane. It's left absolutely everything out there. And there have been chances they really have for a second goal for either side. Kanji has it at the back now for Switzerland, and he goes to his right hand side and finds Shah. Shah goes all the way back to Sommer, and Sommer in turn feeds the ball out for Switzerland. I think when we look back on this game from a Scottish perspective, of course that error from Ralston will be analysed, won't it? But I think Switzerland will feel as though it had the chances of the two teams to go on and win it. Of course there was the Hanley header onto the post from Scotland, but apart from that, the McTominay goal created very little in the space of 88 minutes or so. How many added on minutes are they going to be at the end of the 90? Andy Robertson with the challenge. It's going to be a free kick for Switzerland, and Andy Robertson will just about escape without a yellow card here, I think. Came in late. So there's going to be a free kick for Switzerland on the right hand side as we go into the final minute or so of the game. It's been a very, very engaging watch, this UEFA European Championship group stage Group A game. Very, very entertaining, hasn't it? Really, really on the precipice at times, and there's one or two Scottish fans that could barely watch. Late goal now for Switzerland really would be a bit of a heartbreaker, wouldn't it? So It is a free kick for Switzerland from the right-hand side, which is taken left-footed into the penalty area, and it was half a chance, you know, at the back stick. It's a really decent opportunity which wasn't taken, but I think when Switzerland will look back on that, Amdouni it was, he might have been onside too at the back post from 7 yards out, just places his header wide, and now the double substitution is coming in from Scotland. But another chance, as Shankland is one of the two players to come on for Scotland, and I think Christie's going to be the other, as McGinn is one of the two players to come off as we approach the 90-minute mark. And my goodness, it's been a game where I think Shea Adams comes off, and Shea Adams has worked really, really hard out there tonight. Just been so difficult, really, I think, to manage to find any kind of way through in terms of his capacity in the final third. 4 additional minutes at the end of the 90. It's Shankland and Christie are the two players to come on. It's the time for one last moment of absolute magic. One last moment that these fans inside this ground will remember for the rest of their days. Andy Robertson has it on the left-hand side. Andy Robertson flings it into not a bad area, goes beyond everyone. Regathered now at the back stick. And Scotland will feed the ball back into the penalty area, and once again Scotland now with the ball inside the penalty area again, and it's gathered by McGregor. McGregor just stands it up towards Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson across the face of goal, and is cleared by Akanji from just a few yards out, and the ball will drop now to the edge of the penalty area. Now McGregor smashes it over the crossbar, and that was a big touch from Akanji in the heart of the Swiss penalty area, because it was cleverly done actually by Scotland. It was a lovely run by Andy Robertson on the left hand side. He's just nodded it back into a dangerous area. Shankland and others were building inside the penalty area, and Akanji got there before McTominay, and Akanji clenched his fist in celebration as if it was a goal. And it is, we played 2 minutes of added on time at the end of the 90. Remains Scotland 1, Switzerland 1. I can't believe there haven't been more goals in the game, you know, because it's been the kind of game where there really have been so many opportunities in the contest. And what this will mean, of course, is we will go into the final game in Group A, and match day 3 of the group, Scotland against Hungary. It's going to be 8 o'clock UK time on Sunday, and what an absolute monster fixture that will prove to be, unless there's a moment of high drama late on here. But it feels as though both sides have almost settled for the 1-1. Akanji has the ball at the back, and Akanji just flicks the ball forward on the left hand side. Now Switzerland have it. Switzerland, who I think will feel as though they've more than had enough chances to go on and win the game tonight, but nonetheless they will take 4 points from 2. I've been really pleased with that, I think. And Angus Gunn is going to come out and gather now for Scotland, and that might just be that, as Embolo tried to get on the end of it. Angus Gunn was indeed there, and Scotland 1, Switzerland 1, I think, is going to be the full-time result here. It's been such an engaging, entertaining, enjoyable watch, hasn't it? Is there time for one moment? Andy Robertson has it on the left-hand side for Scotland. We're not done just yet. We're in the final minute of the added on time at the end of the 90. Andy Robertson will take the throw on that left-hand side. Andy Robertson has it back once again for Scotland. And here comes Scotland once again. Scotland have the ball 50 yards from goal on the left-hand side. Can they launch it forward into the penalty area? Can they create one more moment, one more opportunity? They have the ball just outside the penalty area. Swept it towards the back post. Might come to the edge of the penalty area now. Indeed it does. Andy Robertson is in behind it. Andy Robertson with the touch inside. And Andy Robertson now will try and feed the ball into the penalty area. He does just that, but can't quite find a way through. Scotland, though, be able to get a touch on it just to the edge of the penalty area, but I think the referee's going to have a look at his watch here and indeed blow the full-time whistle. It finishes Scotland 1, Switzerland 1 in Group A on match day 2. There's a little clench of the fist from Steve Clarke, and I think both managers will be fairly pleased with the point. Scott McTominay opened the scoring for Scotland on 13 minutes, and Xherdan Shaqiri on 26 minutes with a lovely goal. First time Xherdan Shaqiri actually the only player to have scored in the last 3 World Cups and the last 3 European Championships. Incredible statistic. It was Ralston's giveaway, though, that allowed Xherdan Shaqiri the opportunity to score the equalising goal. The Swiss had chances. The Scots hit the post. At full time in Cologne is Scotland 1, Switzerland 1.